Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's webinar on year-end activities in Brightspace. So glad to see you guys all here today. I know we have a handful of more people that have registered for today's session, so folks might be logging in kind of as the time continues, but figured I'd get started with just a couple notes. Closed captions have been enabled, so you have the option to show or hide those depending on your needs. The Zoom Q&A box is also open for any questions that you may have throughout today's session. A recording of this session and the slide deck will be posted in Brightspace community once we have finished. And we'll also post any of the Q&As that we've received with links to additional resources that may be helpful. All right, I'm seeing a lot more people log in. Hi, everybody. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with just kind of our agenda for today. So first we'll start with some quick introductions. From there, we'll share an overview of some of the activities that we plan to discuss today. Next, we'll have a demo in the platform. And to finish off, we'll have time for a discussion and Q&A. So a little bit about us. My name is Victoria Fulhenshow, and I'm a customer enablement specialist here at D2L. We also have my colleague Heather here with us today, so she will be answering any questions that you may have in the Q&A chat. Before we get too far, I would like to take a moment to clarify some terms. Hopefully, you've heard of D2L or Brightspace before. Just to clarify, D2L is the company that Heather and I work for, whereas Brightspace is the product that we make, a learning management system. And depending on where you work, your district may call Brightspace something like eClass, iLearn NYC, or the VLE. Although some of your districts may have different names for their learning management system, if you're here, they should all refer to Brightspace. In addition, our Brightspace community is a hub of resources where you can connect with other Brightspace users and seek out additional information on Brightspace. We actually have a K-12 educators community group that Heather's going to add the link to that in the chat that you can join and connect with other K-12 educators across maybe the US, Canada, and internationally as well. So now that we've told you a little bit about us, we would love to learn about you. So please take a moment to complete the poll that you see on your screen. And these are just a few questions that will help us better understand how you might use Brightspace. So the questions that we have here are just, how would you describe your current use of Brightspace for end of year activities? Maybe you haven't used it before. Maybe you've created just a few activities. Possibly you have an entire plan, or you're just here to get some inspiration. The second question is, what tools are you comfortable using in Brightspace? And we have a variety of tools available there. And the third is just to get an idea of what grade levels do you primarily teach or support. So I've kind of grouped them for K-5, 6 through 8, and 9-12. I understand that you might teach multiple of those, but just kind of pick the one that best fits you. All right, so it looks like the majority of people here so far have not used Brightspace for the year end before. So I'm glad you guys can hopefully get some inspiration from today. And it looks like most folks are comfortable using assignments, maybe some activity feed. It just kind of varies as to, it looks like most folks actually aren't very comfortable using awards yet, which is great that we are going and actually going to teach you guys how to create an award yourselves today. And we have a good mix between maybe elementary, high school, and some other as well. So I like the variety here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end the poll because it does look like most folks have already participated. Okay, but thank you guys for taking the time to complete that. That really helps give me a better understanding of who's here and helps us frame things for today. So, to get into things, the poll may have given this away, but we'll be reviewing a handful of tools here today. So, activity feed, awards, assignments, discussions, quizzes, and even more tools. If you've attended any of the past Bright Idea sessions, you've likely learned about a lot of these tools throughout this year, and you may already be familiar with them. But by the end of this session, I hope you'll feel inspired with fresh ideas for using familiar tools in Brightspace to wrap up the year in a way that's both fun and reflective. So let's talk about those activities. In Brightspace, I have created an end of the year kit right in my environment. This week-long kit is designed to celebrate your students' hard work while still hitting goals around reflection, social emotional learning, and creativity. Like I mentioned earlier, everything is built using Brightspace tools that you already have access to, and each idea can be customized to fit the grade level or subject that you teach. I'll walk you through how each of these activities look within Brightspace, but I want to take a moment to talk about the variety of activities. So there are reflective activities, kind of like the digital memory books or the favorite memories. There are some collaborative experiences like the gratitude wall. And there are even student-driven options like the review choice board. You can actually see the choice board options in this first picture here, that tall one. Students might choose to record their own podcast, take a review quiz, or go for the ever popular review games option. These activities are all about giving you flexible, ready to use ideas. And so, all that said, let's take a look at what you'll learn in today's session. So first, we'll review those engaging themed end of the year activities using a variety of tools. Then we'll create awards for student superlatives, and you'll even learn how to issue them for students as well. And last, we'll explore the learning experience from the student perspective and really get to see how this looks like from their point of view as well. So all that said, let's get into Brightspace. Right now, I am logged in as Emily here. She is a teacher in this primary class. If you've been in some of our sessions before, you've likely seen this course before, but we have a little bit about me for her as well. And when you scroll down, we have our activity feed here. This activity feed post, this first one, has a last week of school kit announcement. It essentially introduces the theme for the week and what the students will be doing for each day for the last week of school. This could be maybe not the last week of school if you wanted to do it the week before or any of those times, that's perfectly fine, but just fit it into your schedule however fits best with, end of year exams and such as well. But in this, not only do we have it listed simply for Monday, you do the digital memory book, Wednesdays, the review choice board, so on and so forth, but we also have these links here for students to click on that will take them directly to that assignment. Before we click on one of those links, I do want to just make you aware of this activity feed here. We have 2 plan posts. These plan posts, when we click on it, you can see that we have 2 that are scheduled to be posted on Friday, the 20th. So imagine that this is the last week of school for my students. I'd like to, for one, maybe at 2 p.m., I want to make them a note that just says, have a great summer before they leave. I don't have to think about it during the last day of school, try to remember, hey, I have to put this on Brightspace. I can go ahead and schedule it now so that way it's there. If students look at it and then they see that quick message, they know that they're thought of. Even if you might be thinking about, let me get these grades in, let me get, turn this in, let me get home and just breathe for a minute. The students still know that you're thinking about them and wish them to have a great summer. And then this other post here is actually related to our Friday activity, which is their favorite memory. So I have already created the post that my students are going to comment on and kind of share what their favorite memory was. And so, like I said, last day of school, I'm not having to think about it. I already wrote up my post. I've already scheduled it for that particular day. And this one's going to be released on the 20th at 8 a.m. So when students log in that morning, they'll be able to see their favorite memory post and comment on it as needed. So let's go ahead and use these quick links. If I wanted to go to my content area, you guys likely already know that I could go up here, go to my work area or my content area, but I do want to showcase kind of how these quick links work. So let's start with maybe the digital memory book. When I click on it, it'll open up in a new tab, and you'll see it takes me directly to that piece of content in my content area. Before we talk about this particular activity, I just want to take a step back to look at how things are organized within my content area on the left-hand side. So you'll see I have a unit here that's just called the last week of school or last week of school kit. In that unit, you'll see the different folders such as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and it continues all the way down to Friday. So that kind of helps my students. For one, it helps me organize how I'd like the week to go, but it also helps my students understand this is my focus for today. Not only that, though, but if you look in the bottom corner, you'll see that each folder has a date that's associated with it. So Friday says it starts June 20th, Thursday, June 19th, Wednesday, June 18th, and so on. What this means is that those folders are not actually available for students to click on or view until that day. For myself, I just have it set up to be 12:01 a.m. So if students happen to be logging in really early in the morning, they can always access their activities, but they can't be logging in on Monday and doing Friday's work if you have some of those go-getter students. So now that we've talked about this framework, let's go into Monday. This digital memory book is really meant to just tell students or give students an idea of kind of what their portfolio is actually for. So all of my units, they actually start with just a brief introduction to the activity of that day. So you'll see kind of what is this? Why does it matter? How does it connect with what you've been doing before? And then when you click onto the next page, it'll actually give you the assignment for the student to complete. So like I said, this digital memory book, it's the goal of this is for students to go and write down, record, maybe make a video of what their favorite project was, describe why it was their favorite, state what they've learned. And then once they've turned it in, they're guided to add that to their portfolio. One of the big reasons why we encourage students to add activities and assignments and such to their portfolio is that that portfolio piece really builds ownership with their student learning, and it gives them the opportunity to go back and reflect on their work in future years as well. So as a teacher, when I look at this page, I can scroll down and actually see not only what the instructions are, but I can see that 3 of my students have actually submitted work already. You can see the day that they submitted, the time, and you can also see that I have already published an evaluation for Lily here. If I'd like to, I can go to my evaluation right here from my content area and evaluate Clara and Noah's work. Or if I wanted to, there's also a quick eval widget that's on the home page that I can go back to. So instead of evaluating my work here, what I'm going to do is show you that quick eval widget a little bit later on in today's session. But I just wanted to point out the cool fact that not only do you have the information here, students can go and do it right here in their content area, but teachers can go and actually make use of it by evaluating right here in this area as well. So let's talk about Tuesday's project. The activity for Tuesday is a gratitude wall. Once again, you'll see that I have a page introducing the topic and just giving students some ideas of maybe what gratitude might look like. When I go to the next section, you'll see that there's an actual discussion here for students to fill out. It has the description. It has some discussion details. And when I scroll down, it looks just like the assignment view, where you can see not only has Noah and Lily posted a thread themselves, but you can actually even see that Lily has posted one reply to a thread as well. We can see that Emma, Sammy, and Clara, it looks like they're offline, so maybe they need to log in and do that assignment themselves. But once again, we can go and evaluate straight from here. So for this activity, the gratitude wall, it's really just encouraging students to build community by sharing a shout out or describing who in their classroom has really made their year better. And one key note about this discussion post and why I made it a discussion instead of maybe making an activity feed where students could share their thoughts or any other number of activities. I made it a discussion because one thing that we can do is require students to start a thread or make a post before they can read and review other students' posts. So when Clara goes and logs in, she won't necessarily see that Lily and Noah have made posts already. She'll have to make her own before she can go and see what Lily said, see what Noah said, and possibly respond to them. Let's go to Wednesday. Wednesday is one of my favorite activities. You'll see Wednesday is our review choice board. Once again, the activity is just introduced to students here. And the cool part about a review choice board is that it gives students just a choice. It gives them the opportunity to pick activities that match their learning style and just to have fun with their learning. Students are oftentimes more likely to be engaged with their learning if they can do things that they're most interested in. So many of the students, yes, might pick these review games, but they have other options in here as well that might interest other students. So let's kind of click through each of these. First, for students to even access these assignments or choices, they must do their checklist. This checklist, if you have any questions about how to create a checklist or how to do a choice board like this, we actually had a previous Bright Ideas session that went step by step on how to do this. I believe it was back in November for holiday activities in Brightspace. But students would go, they click on the checklist, and then from there, these little, this icon here, this gear with the eyeball, essentially says that there are release conditions on all of this content. And once students go and click on the checklist, whatever they choose will be released for them to view. So many students will likely view these review games. The cool part about Brightspace is you don't necessarily have to put all of their learning right here in Brightspace. You can link out or even embed different options for websites and such and activities like Kahoots and quizzes that you might use outside of Brightspace. You can embed those right in here. You can link out to them. For this particular example, I chose to link out just so that way I could add all three of them, the game options here. But There are so many integrations that we have that you can embed right here in Brightspace. We also have this ultimate end of year review quiz. This quiz is just like a quick little fun activity for them to do. I know most students won't actually pick a quiz to do. So in this example, if I go to launch quiz and start quiz, you'll see that this quiz is actually just a little bit silly. You can make this a true review quiz about like particular topics, but I used to be a teacher. I know the end of the year, they're likely not thinking about a lot of these. So, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. I think that's usually what most students remember from the end of the year. What should you do on summer break? So you can make these not necessarily graded. You don't have to necessarily make these, you know, true to the standards, or you can. You can kind of mix things up a little bit. But this is just like a quick little silly quiz for them to complete. And you'll see on the teacher perspective, it looks just like the assignments and just like the discussion posts as well, where you can go, you can edit that activity, you can go and evaluate down here at the completion summary. So once again, it's the same experience from the teacher perspective. If you happen to have Creator Plus or H5P interactives as well, this is another example of you being able to take advantage of the different interactives that are built right into Brightspace, where you can go and make learning a lot more engaging. I don't think I'm going to get any of these right, but oh, I got a couple. And then we also have a few more activities, such as the emoji summary, where students can go and describe a topic with emojis. Maybe a mini podcast where students can record themselves explaining a topic that they learned about this year. And then the same idea, but with a concept sketch where students can really use their artistic skills to make a diagram or something along those lines, or sketch to really explain a concept that they learned this year. So the review choice board is really just like a very fun way for students to really get engaged in the classroom and the different activities for that day. Now that we've done a lot of review, I like for students to get into kind of some forward thinking mindsets. So they have the opportunity to do some goal setting for the summer. What I really like about this is I'm actually not having them do their goal setting directly in Brightspace. I already had something in my Google Slides or my Google Drive that was a summer goals kind of presentation. And I didn't want to just kind of recreate that within Brightspace. So luckily, what I can do is I can link right here, and students can click right here, make a copy of their Google Slides presentation, and do their goal setting on their own. You can see an example of just kind of what the template looks like when I saved it as a PDF, but this is essentially what students will get to see and add it on their own. I can take advantage of everything that Brightspace has to offer while also still using the same materials that I had in my own repertoire of materials. And this could be said with a Google Doc, a Google Slide, Microsoft PowerPoint. All of those can be integrated right here within Brightspace. And last but not least, we have our Friday activity. So I already shared with you guys that they're going to have an activity feed post that's scheduled for 8 a.m. on Friday for them to share their favorite memory. But we also are celebrating with the end of year awards. Oftentimes students like to get superlatives for maybe the best laugh, or like maybe they read the most, they're most likely to go to Broadway. Those superlatives can stretch with a wide range of activities and such, but you can make them as silly or wonky or as academic as you'd really like. So that being said, let's go and actually look at the awards that we have and make one together. To do that, I'm just going to go straight into awards. And you'll see my students, you'll see the awards that they may already have. You also have the ability to go and see the course awards, see my awards, and just view the available awards for that particular course. So you can see we already have a number of, same ones that I mentioned before, maybe most athletic, best attitude, most school spirit. But I'd like to make one with you for students who have read a lot this year. So we're going to go back up and go to our course awards. From here, we just press Add Award to Course. And you'll see that there are actually some awards that are available from other courses that I can click on and add those, but I'd like to actually make my own from scratch. So what I'm going to do is press Create. From here, there's a handful of things we have to do. So for one, we have to make a title or a name for the award. So for this one, I'm going to go with Read the Most. And you'll need a description that the students will see for that award as well. I have one that's already written out here for it. And then some criteria that students are meeting to achieve said award. So for this, I'd like to just kind of say that they logged the highest number of books or reading minutes. Maybe they actively participated in different discussions or really reviewed and made recommendations about books to peers. Awards actually come in two different types. We have our badges and our certificates. For this one, we're going to do a badge. And then you have some different settings here, such as availability, expiration dates. I don't want this award to expire, so I'm just going to leave that on never. And then here's the fun part. We get to choose our award image. We can pick from an existing library of award images. So these are all of those ones that just already live in Brightspace. So you're welcome to kind of pick any of those. But if this isn't quite what you're looking for, you can upload your own icon. So I have a Read the Most award icon here. It just has some books here with a little words there. And from there, I can press Save and Close. So when I scroll down, these are actually written in alphabetical order. You'll see that our Read the Most award is right down here. If you wanted this to be awarded automatically, you can go and edit the properties and attach release conditions to it. And once those conditions are met, the student will automatically receive said award. But for these awards, I'd actually like to issue these manually because these aren't something that students will just kind of complete within Brightspace. This is something that I've seen throughout the year. I've observed them really making people laugh. I've really observed them just showing school spirit. So what we do is we go back up to our class list awards. And we have our students here. And I really want to award Noah, Clara, and Lily for some of their behaviors. So I'll click on their names and click Issue. And from here, I can select any of the awards that we have in our course. So for this one, I'd say that the three of them are most likely to brighten our days in the classroom. The evidence is that they're always making other students smile. And I can press Issue. So now you'll see that all three of them have that new award there. One suggestion that I've gotten from some other teachers or some folks that I've talked to, you could, for superlatives at the end of the year, instead of saying maybe like the best reader or something along those lines, you could do reading superstar or read X amount. Maybe they read 5+ books. something along those lines. So that way you can actually issue those awards to more than one student. Things that say best are a little bit harder to go and actually assign to all of the different students. So it's really just up to you as to how you'd like to use these. But that is one suggestion that I've been given in the past as well. So now that we've issued our awards, we've created an award, I did want to go back and kind of show you what it looked like to evaluate that assignment from the teacher's perspective. So let's go back to our course home. And I had mentioned that quick eval widget. So when we scroll down our home page, you'll see our widget right here. Keep in mind these home pages are customizable, so if you don't have a quick eval widget or something on your screen now, that is something that you can change when you change your home page. But for now, let's take a look at it. So we can view all activities. It looks like Emily has quite a lot to grade today, but you can see the My Favorite Project assignment. You'll see that we have the same kind of stats where 3 out of 5 of our students have completed the assignment, 1 has been evaluated and published, and we just have 2 new submissions here. So if I click on this, you'll be able to see that Noah here, he has uploaded his assignment. When I click on it, you'll see that he uploaded a file with his favorite project there, which was a state research project. If I wanted to give him feedback here, I could actually do some annotations here, which is super cool because I could write directly on his work and give him that feedback immediately there. But one other cool thing is that we can do click through to the next person, but not only can we do the file submissions, but students can also submit audio submissions for their work as well. So I can click here. I have it muted so that way it's not talking over me. But Clara, she submitted her favorite project right here in just an audio file. When giving Clara feedback, I can do the same thing. I can write some feedback right here, or I can even record audio. So if I wanted to give some audio recording as well, I could just hit that record audio button, click the record, and then just share my feedback right here within Brightspace, and it'll just record as I'm speaking. I'll stop the recording here. And you can hear me. You can hear me giving that feedback, and it will just continue there, and I can press add. A best practice is to add the audio language that you have, just so that way it can automatically generate captions here. And I'll just write that this is feedback. From here, I can press add. And you'll see that my audio feedback to Clara is here, as well as my written feedback is here. Once I press publish, it'll give me a note that's saying that evaluation is published, and that'll be there for her. But there was one more note with this favorite project assignment. We had asked students once they were done to add this to their portfolio. For these assignments, there's actually been a new release for assignments going to their portfolio that teachers and students can directly from the assignments page add their materials to their portfolio straight from assignments. So let me show you what that looks like. We'll go into assignments, and you'll see the same kind of assignments here like I had in Quick Eval. And we have our last week of school category here. And here's our favorite project. Once I click on my favorite project, you'll see once again Noah, Clara, and Lily have submitted their assignments. And you'll see that add to portfolio button right here next to their assignment. So not only is it there for the students, or for the teachers, I mean, but it's also there from the student perspective as well. So I can go ahead and add this to Clara's portfolio on her behalf. It will create a pop-up that says this assignment has not previously been added to portfolio, so you can click add without worrying that you're going to add it a second time. And I'll show you what that actually looks like, because Lily, if I try to add something to her portfolio, it'll let you know that maybe her or myself had already added this assignment to her portfolio earlier this morning. All right. So Claire's assignment's added to her portfolio. We've assessed it. Now let's actually go through and see what it looks like from Claire's perspective. We'll just take a quick moment. So I'm in Claire's page. You can see she's actually gotten some notifications. But when I go to Claire's, you can see that there is, once again, this activity feed post. You won't see any planned posts. And if I was to be a little gung-ho and really want to do this review choice board, but it's not Wednesday yet, if I click on it as Clara, oh, you'll see that she was assigned that award actually. Uh, it'll show that the content's not available because it's not available until tomorrow. So let's have her go to the gratitude wall instead. Once again, it goes straight to this content area for her. And when she goes to the discussion, you don't see any of those posts. So for her to see any of the posts that the other students made, she'll have to create her own thread. She's thinking a classmate named Jasmine and clicking post. And from there, she can actually already see this was her post. And she can see that Noah posted earlier today, and so did Lily. From here, she has the opportunity to reply to any posts that she'd like to. But I just want to show you what that portfolio piece looks like from her perspective as well, real fast. So her teacher, Miss Emily, she had gone and shared that my favorite project on her portfolio page, or to Claire's portfolio, and you'll see that as of 4:34 today, that my favorite project is there. When she clicks on it, the teacher actually doesn't have to go and do additional feedback here within portfolio. You'll see that the teacher's feedback is right here, straight from the assignment into the portfolio. So I know that this was a quick overview and a quick glance at a lot of tools, but I really just wanted to give you an idea of kind of the art of the possible within Brightspace for the end of the year. So I know we just have a handful of minutes left. So let's talk about a couple of resources real fast. I'll kind of go through just some groups that we have if you're not already familiar. But to start, we have a K-12 educators community group that I mentioned earlier. So if you have not joined, you can join using this QR code on the slide right there, or you can join using the link that Heather posted in the chat earlier. We also invite you to join the D2L Champions program. Being a champion gives you the opportunity to receive points for attending webinars, submitting blog posts, and giving us reviews online. And you can even redeem them for gift cards and additional D2L services. So the link to sign up to be a champion will be in the chat as well. There are going to be quite a few links to join, to click on in the chat. So just a heads up. And this may have been your first webinar with us, but we do have many more to come. I know we just have 2 on the screen right now, but here's a look at the topics that we have planned through August. We'll be announcing our topics for September through February very soon, so please be on the lookout for those. You can find the announcement with the new topics and any links to these sessions in Brightspace community. And the link to register for these 2 sessions are also in the chat. Our team is always looking for ways to improve, so we'd love to hear from you guys. What did you like about today's session? How can we upgrade your Bright Ideas experience? Scan the QR code on the screen or click on the link in the chat. Once again, another link to fill out just a brief survey. We truly appreciate any feedback that you have. I'll come back to this in a bit, but before we go, because I know we have about 5 minutes left, I just want to give everybody the opportunity to have a quick discussion. Would love to hear from you guys. You're welcome to raise your hand to come off mute or type in the chat. The chat should hopefully be available for you guys. If it's not already now, it should be available in just a second. But Just which activity, I know we went through a lot, are you most excited to try or adapt for your own classroom? It's the end of the year, so I know balancing things is difficult, but how do you try to find the balance between fun, reflection, and just academic goals during the end of the year? And just would love to hear any activities that you've had success with or just enjoyed in years past. Um, Yeah, and if I see someone's asking if there's follow-up questions, if they can contact us directly, for sure you can contact us. There's also, if you have a customer success manager that you work with as well, feel free to contact them directly as well. But we do have an email. Heather, would you be able to put the email in the chat for just our team as well?
Yes, I will do that in just a moment.
Perfect. Thank you. I see some folks are saying that they really like the awards idea. Yeah, awards are so fun. And I believe we've discussed awards in past sessions as well. And they can be really cool to go and add release conditions and have them awarded automatically too. So you don't just have to issue them directly. Let's see. And folks, if you wanted to use the raise hand feature in Zoom, it's super cool. You're welcome to do it, and we can take you off mute if you would like to share verbally as well. Somebody said that they can't wait to make some custom awards with funny images that they'll make in Canva. I'll be honest, I made all of those awards in Canva. So it's definitely a great resource to use. Victoria, the session is being recorded and the recording will be posted onto our Brightspace community as well as a Bright Ideas YouTube playlist with all of the previous recordings as well. So once that's all posted, I believe you should get an email just letting you know with that that's out and with those resources as well. All the um, Melanie, so to answer your question about the awards icons that I had, I honestly just searched in Canva for student awards or student badges. I might have looked up like best best athlete or something along those lines, and it gave a lot of suggestions afterwards. So I found one and then it kept giving me more suggestions. And with Canva, you can go and actually edit them however you'd like. So you can change the images, you can change the color, or maybe the words if you don't quite like them exactly. But I just got them directly from Canva. It might have, changed the words or phrasing a little bit. Trying to catch up with the chat. I'm going to go back because I know we just have a couple minutes left. If anybody has any questions or anything, feel free to come off mute or add those in the chat as well. But I'll just leave this kind of survey link here for folks who might not have had the opportunity to scan the QR code. All right. Thank you guys for joining. Appreciate all of the thank yous in the chat as well. So good to see how excited everybody is for this. All right. We'll be here for about 1 more minute. So if anybody has any additional thoughts or questions, please feel free to come off mute or share them in the chat. Otherwise, we will look forward to seeing you guys next month. Anastasia, I do see your question here in the chat about the rollover course. We do actually have a rollover best practices course in our learning services center as well. So if you send an email to the adoption email that Heather posted earlier in the chat with that question, we'll go ahead and forward you a link to that course directly, and then you can kind of look through that just in case you want to get prepped before August. Awesome. Well, it is 4:45 Eastern Time. I hope everybody here has a wonderful afternoon. And if we don't see you during the summer, I hope you have a wonderful summer. But otherwise, hopefully, we will see you next month for some summer school activities as well. All right. Everybody, have a great day. Thank you.